Hi everyone, Keep Your Wolf here. Just today talking about some very basic and very useful nutritional information. I had to do this video on purpose because I'm so tired of hearing people all the time talking about what is the best diet, or what's the most useful diet, or which is the easiest diet, or best nutritional approach. So many different names for the same stupidity. Yeah, and I say stupidity because sadly there's some coaches around and some people around that they don't realize that although physiologically we are all the same, because everybody has two kidneys, one heart, two lungs, and a very complex hormonal system, over in that specific part is where everything starts. We're physiologically the same, but biochemically we're a little bit different, a person to the other. That's the reason we have different food allergies. That's the reason we have we have different insulin sensitivity, we have taste, we have and also we have different rates of absorption of the whole spectrum of macronutrients. I'm sick and tired of people saying that ketogenic diets are the best diets. I'm sick and tired of hearing people saying that low fat, high carb is the best diet. I'm sick and tired of hearing that carb cycling is the best thing for fat loss. I'm sick and tired of hearing people that cutting your carbs is the best fat loss. I'm sick and tired of hearing people, coaches, trainers, athletes saying that go vegan, go carnivore, etc., etc., etc. Because at the end of the day, everything works. At the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you do, as long as it works on you. So that being said, I'm gonna explain a little. I'm gonna do this something like a basic nutrition inside video, and then in another time I can do something more complex and advanced stuff, something that people can realize how simple it's just to set up a diet or nutritional program. I don't like to when I use the word diets, I use it in the way of a diet is a nutritional approach that you're using for a goal. It can be health, physique enhancement, performance. There's people who think because they're doing CrossFit. My worst enemy when I was a doctor in physiotherapy in my country, when I was a physiotherapist in Venezuela, he was my worst enemy. He was my best ally. He was my worst enemy in the sense like people thinking that doing that, let's call it discipline, that's not a sport, that discipline, they will get shredded and strong and fast and agile and functional and shredded. So yeah, I said shredded twice. I saw a lot of situations where people thought that doing that discipline they will be uber human, but no, never happened. And I say my best ally because CrossFit is designed to injure people on purpose, and well, my clinic was always full of CrossFit athletes with knee problems, elbow problems, shoulder impingement, and also seeking nutritional advice for treating overtraining, for treating adrenal fatigue, and other things. Because everybody knows that CrossFit goes with paleo. Okay, enough of the laughing of the poor cousin of the fitness community. A diet is a nutritional approach that you use in a specific situation. Like I said, it can be health, physique enhancement, looking good, or performance, any specific sport. Depending on what you choose, you need to follow certain rules. So we start first with the macronutrient ratio. Let's start first with the micronutrients. Everybody knows we have protein, carbs, and fat. Protein can be animal based or vegetable based, vegan, like legumes, beans, soy, tofu. We have also, well, when it comes to animal based, any kind of meats, including organ meats. Yeah, I say including organ meats. Have you ever found the nutritional value of liver? I dare you to find it, so you can see all the things you're missing. Eggs, poor eggs, so full of vitamins, steroids for creating testosterone. Also, and basically lean cuts and fatty cuts. Depending of what you're gonna choose, you're gonna go to either one. Why I say what you're gonna choose? When I said earlier about picking what you feel best for you, what you feel like is the most comfortable thing to use, I'm referring like people who say ketogenic diets are the best diets because their biochemistry structure suits them better for this kind of diets. It's not because they're not the best, it's because they suit them better. I'm not saying someone who doesn't have someone who is not ketogenic adapted or they go good with carbs, they cannot try it. I'm just saying they maybe use it for a couple of weeks or maybe a couple of months for something really specific and then pull out. The same way people that are like more carb-based, starch-based diets, plant-based diets, the way they work for them because their biochemistry structure, it works for them. So maybe be more acidic in nature. There may be some people that are more like alkaline in structure. They have more like a alkaline nature. Also, we have metabolic conditions. There's people they will prefer to do something like medium fats, medium carbs, high protein because they can burn the carbs really fast. So they need those fats for slowing down the processing of and absorption of the carbohydrates, because fats are extremely underrated. Extremely. That will be another video too. So depending on what you make you feel best, you're gonna have a list or your group of macronutrients, and after that you're good to go. Your starting point. In my case, as an example, I can do medium carbs. I don't need that much carbs. Medium fats and high protein. For me, it's great because I'm never hungry in the morning. So, and if I'm not hungry, I'm not eating. That's one of my rules. I also apply to my clients. If you're hungry, you need to eat. That's a sign of something's happening there. If you're not hungry, don't eat. If you're not hungry for 5 hours, don't eat 5 hours. You don't need to sit down and chow down food on purpose when you don't require to. So if by natural situations, when it means no medications, no appetite suppressants, no stimulants like coffee or green tea are present and you're not hungry, don't eat. I mean, you don't have to sit down. If you feel okay, you're not dizzy, you don't have low blood sugar, you don't feel like your blood sugar is crashing. Sorry, bad English. South American people, hello. Your blood sugar is crashing. If you don't feel like your blood sugar is crashing, if you don't feel hungry, don't eat. Eat when you really feel it. That's the base of nutrition. We have a reserve. We are processing. If you do 5 meals a day, you're gonna be processing that food the whole day and the whole night. One thing is digestion, one thing is absorption. And when you already absorb those nutrients, they're gonna be used. So for taking a piece of red meat, of chicken, of eggs, they're already mixed with rice, and they're also if they were cooked in olive oil, that's gonna be it's gonna be around for a few hours. That's gonna be around for a few hours. But you have a bunch of egg whites with a couple, like 2 slices of white bread, believe me, you're gonna crash like in no time. So the idea here is like, first of all, nutritional approach, whatever suits you best. In my case and my clients, I like to do a balanced approach. They have to be a little bit of everything in their diets. The ratios are not gonna, I don't like to talk about like fixed ratios, because for me, everything is about being flexible. It's about being comfortable. It's about being happy in what you do. And if you're gonna do a diet for at least 6 months, because you need to reach certain goal, you need to do every single day that you're doing 5, 6, 7 meals, or maybe 3 or maybe 1 because you're doing intermittent fasting. You need to be happy by the moment that you're eating. You don't need to eat because the sake of eating, because in one moment you're gonna fail. If you're gonna fail, you're gonna cheat. And also, I love cheat days. I have cheat hours, I love cheat days, I love cheat weekends, and I have a cheat week. I can do it. I do it a couple of times a year, sometimes 3 times a year, for metabolic reasons. I don't call it refeeds. I don't call it super compensation mode. I don't call it super saturation mode. No, I call it cheat, because that's the day when you go nuts and you are super happy and all the cravings go out, and whatever you want to eat, you eat it, and you don't worry about anything, because 2 or 3 days later, all that water weight, all that bloating is going away, and your weight goes down with the same way it was the last time that you were in your normal nutritional program. Or sometimes, most of the times, 99% of the time, you can be a couple of pounds lower, but that will create another nutritional situation. Like, well, okay, if you're bulking up, and then you will have to eat more. If you're doing a recomposition program, you will have to keep your diet, increase your nutrients a little bit. Anyway, so let's start from the fact we're doing a balanced diet. We have a little bit of protein here. This is my my 4 split rule. You have 1/3 of the plate protein, 1/3 of the plate starch, 1/3 of the plate fiber, and the 4th element, fats. Fats are extremely underrated. Even if you have here a fatty cut of meat like chicken thighs, or like a fatty cut of steak, or 80-20 ground beef, you can never go wrong putting a little bit extra fat. Fat doesn't make you fat, everybody knows that. Why that extra fat in here, or in here, or whatever you want to put it? That extra fat is for slowing this here, because depending of the amount of fiber that you may using for keeping your waist in check, or for cutting fat, or the amount of starch and fruit, because I like fruit a lot. People, fruit is also underrated. Fruit is a rapidly available source of energy. It's also packed with vitamins and minerals. And everybody that knows nutrition may know that sadly you can take a lot of vitamins and minerals in pills, but you need certain ratios and certain combination of those to make it work better. Like the same way like calcium. Calcium is great, but calcium without vitamin D is nothing. So if you're not consuming whole eggs, which have vitamin D there and K, all your calcium that's gonna be in your pill is gonna be wasted. The same way, that's the reason milk has a little bit of everything: protein, fats, and carbohydrates, which is already proved that lactose is even slower than oatmeal. The problem is not the lactose as a carb source. The thing that the fattening agent will be the amount of sodium that is in the milk, and also the quantity that you're drinking. But anyway, so we have proteins, starchy carbohydrates, or starchy carbohydrates and fruit, fiber, or any combination, and you're gonna put some extra fat. It can be peanut butter, it can be almond butter, it can be just a little bit of nuts, any kind of nuts, it can be olive oil, macadamia oil. Just put some fats there, and you're gonna see the difference when you're enjoying that meal, and also the time of digestion and absorption. And I can tell you, when you have your macros in this ratio, in this proportion here, you're gonna feel that you don't need to eat for at least 5 hours. So that makes your life like easier when you have to be carrying around 6-7 Tupperwares for your house to work, gym, house, or any other social event that you're having. Imagine a meal so balanced that you just only need to do 4. Why 4? Well, maybe because there's also, by experience, I can tell you this by experience, I have seen people that we have something called circadian rhythms. I saw the first time I learned what a circadian rhythm was when I was studying for becoming a doctor in physiotherapy, and I started applying that to my nutritional approach, and everything changed slowly. I wasn't already a meathead anymore. I was not the bodybuilder who used to carry Tupperwares around, because I did it one time. Circadian rhythms is the way your body functions in a 24-hour time frame. So through experience, I realized that we have a time. Let's say this is the same plate but no food. Now it's magically a watch. So we have 24 hours in the day. There's a time when you're sleeping. There's a time when you're working. There's a time when you're working out. There's a time when you spend time with your family or doing errands or whatever you want to do. Of all these 24 hours, there's a time when you're not hungry at all. Yeah, because there's a time when you're not hungry at all. At all. It can be at night. It can be during the afternoon. Or people like me, I'm never hungry in the morning. I'm never hungry in the morning, no matter what. No matter if I'm in contest prep, no matter if I'm bulking, if I'm cutting, if I've everything, I'm not hungry in the morning, no matter what. So you have already a time when you're not hungry, like hungry. No, it's like I have cravings. No, it's hungry for real. That you need food, you need nourishment, you feel weak, you feel lethargic. You cannot coordinate or get anything done the same way you're doing your regular job. So there's a time where we're not hungry. It can be in the morning, it can be during the afternoon, it can be at night. There's a time when you're really hungry, and there's a time where you have cravings during the day. Knowing this already, so if I'm not hungry, let's say as an example, like me, I'm never hungry until 11, 10:30, sometimes 11. Even if I'm normally awake at 6 a.m. because I need to respond to all my clients. I do it in a bi-weekly fashion. I have to also work in my training protocols, besides other things I do during the morning. And I start working at 8 a.m. From 6 a.m. to 10:30, I'm not hungry at all. Not hungry at all. No matter what. No matter what I do, I'm not hungry. So why should I put a meal when I'm not hungry? And I feel great, and I feel normal. Why should I have to sit down and see a plate with food that I don't craving, I'm not feeling that I need it? Why should we be doing that? If I'm feeling great, if I'm feeling normal. So my first meal is around 10:30, 11. Then I'm hungry again around 2. And then I'm gonna take something extra, like for my pre-workout, like a pre-workout meal. It can be a shake, it can be some egg whites, it can be 2 cups of Greek yogurt with some fruit. Anyway, that's up to you. And after that is my dinner time, which is around 9:30. And after that, I'm good to go. So from, let's say, 10:30 to 10:30, I'm not hungry. If during the course of those 4 meals I'm hungry, let me put this over here, I'm using it too much. If during the course of the day and I'm doing my meals, I'm feeling hungry, it's because there's something missing in those meals. It can be more protein, it can be more carbohydrates, more fiber, or more fats. So that's where I review my plan and I keep going. So me, for bulking and cutting, 4 meals. Everybody does some kind of way of intermittent fasting. It can be between your last meal and your first meal in the morning, or Yeah, basically people that just go through the night, lost their dinner. Even people that have their dinners like 6 p.m., not regular people, 7 p.m., and they go to their first meal around 8 a.m., they're already doing fasting. So that trend with intermittent fasting is really funny because they're force feeding, they're like suppressing their normal circadian rhythms. So acknowledging that there's gonna be a time when you're not hungry, let's go to the second one, when you're really hungry. So when you're really hungry and you already start feeling weak, that's gonna have your first meal of the day, and after that, go into the notion that you're gonna do a balanced meal, like the way I just said. After going through that, you're gonna start feeling when you're hungry again, it's gonna be your second one. And after you're feeling that you're gonna be hungry again, it's gonna be your third one. So, or maybe four, depending on the time of your workout and other things. So we have one more step, calculating the calories. Calculating the calories for, it may be burning fat, cutting, losing weight. Multiply your body weight in pounds by 10 or 12. By maintaining, multiply your body weight per 15. By bulking, multiply your body weight in pounds by 18. So you started from a macronutrient based on your biochemistry to getting in portions to follow. Every time that you're hungry, that's gonna tell you the amount of food, the amount of meals you're gonna have, and after that you're just gonna calculate the calories. Why the calories in the end? Because if you're you're gonna have you can develop some kind of fixation with numbers. So where you're gonna start seeing the famous 60% carbs, 30% protein, 10-15% fat, or the 30-30-30, or ketogenic approach, 70% fats, 10% carbohydrates, 20% protein. If you start like guiding yourself by those numbers, you're gonna end up crazy. But what's gonna happen the day that one of them, if you track it, go like 2, 3, 4 numbers, so everything was wrong. So what you're gonna do? So if one of them went lower the day, what you're gonna do? So imagine what I do in a cheat day, how those numbers just blew up completely. So the last thing I do is I will check my calories to see if I'm gaining weight, if I'm losing fat or weight, because fat is, subcutaneous fatty tissue, and weight is a combination of the loss of fat and water weight, pretending we're not going to lose muscle in the process. I'm just gonna recheck those numbers. I'm gonna go back to the macronutrient split. Do I need more protein? Do I need more fat? Do I need more carbohydrate? Do I need more fiber? And then I'm gonna track again how many meals I'm doing per day. So just to see if I need one more, if I have to reduce one of the ones I'm doing. That's gonna make a diet sustainable in the long term. As a physique competitor, well, I compete in bodybuilder, but I'm saying physique enhancement competitor. Physique enhancement, when I say physique enhancement, are talking about getting a better look, basically. 6-pack abs, wider shoulders, V-taper, round pectorals, etc. Everybody knows that. As a bodybuilder competitor, for me, it's more important doing something in the long term than the short term. But yeah, I have seen great short term preps, like, I'm 8 weeks out, I'm gonna give my best, but the results, they are. It's like a Russian roulette. Maybe it would be a good outcome or a bad outcome. But if you plan yourself following these simple rules, you can have a long-term sustainable diet that's gonna it's gonna allow you to choose do I need bulk? Do I need to cut? Do I need to slowly recomp burning fat, gaining lean muscle? Do I just need to gain lean muscle? Do I need just to improve a body part? For me, that's much better than blowing up like a balloon and diet down and losing some lean mass that was really hard to get during the off season. That's the reason for me, I just consider off season like something that people will just need for a specific situation, maybe going from one division to the other, one category to the other, or because they are really underweight and they just want to compete, and they need to make some weight. You need to create that muscle mass from scratch. Or people they are like normal underweight because they have fat metabolism. You need to put some muscle there, like someone with a ectomorphic nature, ectomorphic like constitution. So I prefer that long-term approach because it's gonna keep me. I can control all the variables. I can control everything, my fat gain. I can control the way, if I want to eat more during a couple of weeks and then cut down. I can control the way I look. I can control my food choices. Because when you are in this kind of program and you're gonna get better with time. You're gonna get better every 2-3 weeks. That's the reason when I coach my clients, I do it in a bi-weekly basis because I see results every 2 weeks. And every 2 weeks multiplied by 2 is a month. So every 2 weeks and once a month, I'm seeing results. So it's when you're trying to look for a leaner version of yourself, for a stronger version of yourself, you already know which foods do you need. I don't have to go, if I want to be, I'm right now on 6% body fat. 2 weeks ago I was in 8. I haven't done anything crazy with my diet. In fact, I haven't done anything crazy with my cardio too. I'm just doing like 50 minutes and I'm just doing it mostly for health. I haven't sacrificed red meat because I love red meat. I haven't sacrificed any of my carbs. I technically had to increase my fat intake and I'm still losing weight. 2 weeks ago I was 220 and right now, 3 weeks ago I was in 220 and today I weigh myself was 211. So because I already know what foods to eat, I already know how my body's gonna respond to those foods, and after that I just need to check myself in every few days to see how I'm feeling. Do I feel hungry? Do I feel that I need what? If I'm hungry, so what am I needing the most? Do I feel weak? Do I feel that my strength is I'm losing strength, or I'm doing, or my workouts are getting poor workouts? It's gonna those kind of questions, they're gonna allow me to make decisions based in what some people call biofeedback. I don't like to call it like that. It's just like your body response. And after a few days feeling those kind of like hunger, I realized I needed more fat, so I increased my fat intake and I'm losing weight faster. So what do you prefer? It's better to use common sense of all the time. You need to work with your body, not against your body. You need to pay attention of what you need. And after that, and with the guidelines I already gave, you can have this greatest nutritional approach, and everything came for simple rules. So let's review that for one more time. First of all, choosing your biochemistry approach. That means, do you feel great with fats? Do you feel great with carbs? That's the first question. Do you need carb? Also, do you feel that you're doing great with fats? Do you need carb for having a great workout and for recovery? Okay, after choosing your biochemistry approach, because at the end of the day, even you can be in mild ketosis when you're sleeping because you're already fasted, and if you do some fasted cardio, you're gonna be increasing that ketosis and not getting to that notion that you need to start yourself up the whole time for a period of 2 weeks for get into ketosis. Our body is constantly using carbs, and when there's no carbs around, he will burn a little bit of fat. He will use it as a fuel when we're sleeping, and those carbs from your last meal, if you're using it, are already gone. Guess when all the energy for all your recovery process is gonna come? Fats. So if you've been doing that and then let's say in the morning you're not hungry, or your breakfast and your nutritional approach is just proteins and fats, guess where the energy is gonna come from? Fats. So you're already doing let's call it mild ketosis, doing that part of the day until you use carbs, and then you're gonna start using glucose as fuel, and then the process repeats. When you're in that process for at least 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, guess what's gonna happen? You're already good burning fat as a fuel. You don't need to go into a ketosis and then replenish like in a crazy manner during the weekends, like the cyclic ketogenic diet. So we're constantly going from glucose to fats to glucose for people that cannot sacrifice one or the other. That's the people I approach. People that love the ketogenic diet, you can go to any YouTube channel that supports those kind of stuff. People that love plant-based diets, you can go to any YouTube channel. Don't come to my channel to criticize stuff, because I will have to delete those comments. This is for people that can be in both sides. They just want a balanced approach to nutrition, because like I said, there's no perfect diets. The best diet is the one that suits for that can fulfill your needs. So you're gonna choose your biochemistry approach. You're gonna choose the foods in that list already, the foods that make you suit better. You're gonna control the portions, and depending of how you feel after you control the portion, in a few hours, 2, 3, 4 hours, if you're feeling hungry or not feeling hungry, you're gonna start doing the other meals, and after that you're gonna calculate your calories, and that's it. Take a long term and enjoy your cheat hours, your cheat day. Simple. It's like I say, simplicity for me is being effective. So the simpler you are, the more effective it's gonna be. Peace out.